everyone. Clay from Brooklyn. Football with the fellas is all about Big Blue. I can't even be bothered to put on my ring light because it is a dark day in Giantdom, and I don't know if we deserve light. So I'm going to be speaking to you from the shadows about the Week 5 debacle against New Orleans Saints. I'm still in the immediate throes and aftermath of that butt whipping that we took against a bad team, which means that we are a worse team. So let me start by, by saying, Clay from Brooklyn Football with the fellas, I would ask you to like this, but I don't like this myself. And by this, I mean the Giants. So I guess only out of a misery loves company kind of mindset, I'm going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe, and maybe drop a comment. But we're done. The season is over. I'm going to officially start mock draft Mondays tomorrow. My voice is gone because I was screaming at the television, as I'm sure all of you were saying, what in the world is going on? We were like Mrs. Paul's with the turnovers today. What is going on with just turning the ball over time after time after time? It's just not okay. But aside from that, we just have the wrong people on the field. So this was, in my opinion, the last chance for Jalin Hyatt. And you guys know I was all in on Jalin Hyatt this summer. I thought Jalin Hyatt was going to actually have a shot at putting up some numbers, but he's clearly not an NFL receiver. Get him off the field. Get him off the team. Get him off the roster. At the best, he should be in the practice squad, at best. Little Jordan Humphrey is a professional wide receiver. Bring him up, please. He's on the practice squad. Going into an NFL football game with two running backs is ridiculous. So we need to bring up Turbo Miller and Elijah Chapman. Turbo Miller would be the fastest Giant, like by a wide margin. He'd be one of the 10 fastest people in the National Football League. Now, I get it that speed is not everything, but it's not nothing. Kavontae Turpin is a Dallas Cowboy who ran a 4.3 140. He's 5'9", 155. 5'9", 155. Most of the kickers in the NFL weigh more than him. But he strikes the fear of God in teams the 2 or 3 or 4 times a game when he touches the ball because he's really fast and a decent threat to take it to the house. So they get scared of him. Turbo Miller is 5'9", 200, did 28 bench reps, and runs a 4.25 40. He is not small. He's short, kind of like Joe Morris back in the day, who was like 5'7" and 200. Well, this guy's 5'9", 200, and runs a 4.25. You can't find 2 or 3 touches a game to put in his hands and see if he can't do something, or at least scare the defenses into backing up or moving up if they think it's going to be a screen pass. You can't find a way to use that skill set ever, then you're the wrong person for the job. So Dable and Shane have to go. They have to go. I'm fine with them going this week, but certainly by the end of the year. So the fact that we're going to have 2 or 3 wins this year and drafting in the top 5 again, it means that whoever the next GM and coach are will have good picks to start with, because we're terrible. I just can't see us winning more than 3 games, and honestly, I don't care. The difference between 3 and 14 and 4 and 13 is just draft pick. So, it doesn't mean I'm going to be any happier at 4 and 13 or even 5 and 12. We suck. And that pass rush that everybody was raving about last week when I said, hey, maybe it's because the Chargers are missing their 2 starting offensive tackles. Rashawn Slater's out for the year and Joe Alt got hurt in the first quarter. Maybe that had something to do with it. Nobody wanted to hear that. They wanted to tell me how great our pass rush was. And don't get me wrong, I think our pass rush is very good and should be. If we could ever stop the run and we could ever play some press man on the corners so that our quarterback has to hold the ball for more than 2 seconds, maybe the pass rush would get home. I'm not knocking their abilities and their talents, but that unit is not enough to turn into W's if the rest of the team isn't playing well. If I hear one more person tell me that Tyler Nubin is any good, I'm going to throw up in my mouth. Tyler Nubin is terrible. He's terrible. He is not a good football player, period, full stop. I don't know that he's better than Tay Banks, who is terrible. Clearly, we need help on the back end. Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo, the free agent signings, are way better than those guys, but are not especially good. They're okay. If they were the 2 worst DBs in a 4 or 5 DB set, they'd be fine. But if they're the 2 best DBs you have, you're going to lose games. Bobby Okereke is a solid tackler when he gets to you, but that's usually not, like behind the line of scrimmage or even at the line of scrimmage. And he gets shook in the hole a couple of times. once or twice a game. He's just not the player he was 2 years ago. We need a better inside linebacker. I'm looking at Leo Chenal, who is going to be a free agent. He's in his 4th year at Kansas City, and they use him sparingly. He gets about 35, 40 snaps a game. He would be our starting every down middle linebacker. And I think he should be. I think that's who we should go after. Well, I'm getting sidetracked. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm bringing back mock draft Mondays. I've already started looking at college players, but I'm certainly going to start looking at them some more because this season is over. We're going to have a top 5 draft pick. We might as well start planning for who that might be. I'm not even sure what position group needs the most help. Jackson Dart actually didn't look that bad to me, other than the obvious, fumble. The ball kind of just fell out of his hand. That was crazy. But he's not the problem. The offensive line didn't look so terrible in pass protection. We can't seem to block for running consistently, now and then. And Scadaboo moves the pile. But we could get a little better in the offensive line. But honestly, I don't think that's really the biggest problem. We probably could use a second wide receiver. Maybe if Malik Neighbors hadn't got hurt last week, this game would have been different. But, when you turn the ball over 57 times and have 104 penalties, it's hard to win games in the NFL. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling because there's just so much wrong and it's fresh. The game just ended and it's still fresh in my mind and it's driving me crazy. So let me not do that. I'm going to ask you to drop a comment. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe because misery loves company, not because the Giants deserve it. Anyway, little Jordan Humphrey, Dante Turbo Miller, and Elijah Chapman should be on the active roster. And if they're not, then Joe Shane and Brian Dable need to go. Like the people we're putting out there, the Jalen Hyatts of the world. And guys, I was all in on Jalen Hyatt over the summer, but he's clearly not an NFL receiver. Get him off the roster. Little Jordan Humphrey's a professional receiver. Give him a shot. We need more than 2 running backs. Turbo would give us a 3rd running back. Elijah Chapman would give us some power at fullback to open some holes in short yardage. He's also a defensive tackle that is very solid. If you look up his stats last year against, then put them up against, say, Roy Robertson Harris and Raheem Nunez-Roches, he's as good a defensive tackle as they are. And he's a good fullback. At least he's a hole opening fullback in short yardage. That doesn't deserve a roster spot? Seriously? Okay, again, I'm rambling. Mazo and I will do a deeper dive after I've had a chance to recover. You see my voice has gone from screaming at the television. Maybe in a day or so, I'll feel a little bit better and sound a little bit better and light us a little bit better here in the All About Big Blue studio. But until then, Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue. And like the Giants, I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.